Sayu, Shumatsuban at your disposal.
Hey everybody, Ray here. It's time for our next Genshin Impact character video, and today the spotlight's on the new 4-star anime unit, Sayu. Before we begin today's video, please consider popping the subscribe button if you are interested in Genshin Impact content, because I will have plenty more for you, including character videos like these and wishing on the new banners. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for your support. It really means a lot to small creators like me. So we finally did it. We have the tiniest team possible with the addition of Sayu, a pint-sized ninja with the Shumatsuban. Sayu wants to grow tall and believes sleep is the way forward, so you'll often find her trying to snooze the day away in hopes of growing. She uses her ninja techniques to avoid work and detection to enable her to do so. The Shumatsuban fall under the umbrella of the Yashiro Commission, so she seems to have closer ties to other characters involved in cultural affairs, like the Kamisatos and the Shrine Maidens. One of the Shrine Maidens at Narukami Shrine in particular likes to make sure Sayu eats her carrots. Sayu has made her debut on the Tapestry of Golden Flames banner alongside Yoimiya. While featured on the banner, Sayu has an increased drop rate, but will also be available in the standard and other banners once this one ends. So if you want to add Sayu to your team, you'll need to collect a few things. First up, defeat the Magukenki for Anemo crystals and marionette cores, search out some crystal marrow, and collect nectar from whopper flowers. For her talents, you'll need books of light, more whopper flower nectar, and gilded scales from Ajdaha. And not to forget, if you want to max out any of her talents, you will need crowns of insight. Once you've added Sayu to your team, any more wishes for her will give you Stellar Fortuna to light up her constellation. Give me a second. I swear they're making these harder.
Nycterutes.
To light up her constellation, Nycterutes Minor. So let's take a look at what this tiny ninja can do. Sayu's basic attack, Shumatsuban Ninja Blade, performs up to 4 consecutive claymore strikes. Her charge attack drains stamina over time to perform continuous spinning attacks against nearby opponents, ending with a powerful slash. Sayu can plunge from midair to strike the ground below, damaging opponents along the path and dealing AoE damage upon impact. This is pretty standard for a claymore user, but I do find the overall animations to be really cute. On to the elemental skill, Yuhu Art Fuin Dash. Sayu curls up to a rolling Fufu Windwheel and smashes into opponents at high speed, dealing anemo damage and ending with a Fufu Whirlwind Kick, dealing AoE anemo damage. A press of the skill button will cause Sayu to roll forward in this state for a short distance before using the Fufu Whirlwind Kick. Holding the skill button causes Sayu to roll about continuously in the Fufu Windwheel state, increasing Sayu's resistance to interruption. During this time, Sayu can control the direction of her roll, and can use the skill again to end her Windwheel state early and unleash a stronger version of the Fufu Whirlwind Kick. The hold version of this skill can trigger elemental absorption. If Sayu comes into contact with Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro while in her Windwheel state, she will deal additional elemental damage of that type. An elemental absorption may only occur once per use of this skill. The second constellation Egress Prep increases the damage of the Fufu Whirlwind Kick from the press mode by 3.3%, and from the hold mode, every 0.5 seconds in the Fufu Windwheel state will increase the damage of the Fufu Whirlwind Kick by 3.3% to a maximum of 66%. Her fifth constellation, Speed Comes First, increases the talent level of Yuhu Art Fuin Dash by an additional 3 levels. And let's be honest, this is probably the most fun skill to use in the entire game. Sayu's Elemental Burst, Yuhu Art Mujina Flurry, deals anemo damage to nearby opponents and heals nearby party members based on Sayu's attack stat. And then she'll summon the Muji Muji Daruma. At specific intervals, the Muji Muji Daruma will take certain actions based on the situation around it. If the health of nearby characters is over 70%, it will attack nearby opponents dealing anemo damage. If there are characters with less than 70% health, it will heal the character at the lowest health first. But if there are no opponents nearby, the Muji Muji Daruma will just heal any nearby active characters. For Sayu's second passive talent, No Work Today, when the Muji Muji Daruma heals a character, it will also heal nearby characters for 20% the amount of HP, and it increases the AoE of its attack against opponents. Sayu's first constellation, Multitask no Jutsu, is very handy, as the Muji Muji Daruma will then ignore HP limits and will simultaneously attack nearby opponents and heal characters. The third constellation, the Bunshin can handle it, increases the talent level of Yuhu Art Mujina Flurry by an additional 3 levels. And the final constellation, Sleep O'Clock, the Muji Muji Daruma will now also benefit from Sayu's Elemental Mastery. Each point of Elemental Mastery will increase the damage dealt by the Daruma's attacks by 0.2%, and the amount of HP restored by 3, A maximum of 400% attack can be gained and 6000 HP restored this way. This one certainly sounds like it'll be very handy to unlock. Her first passive talent, Someone More Capable, heals 300 HP for party members and nearby allies when Sayu triggers a swirl reaction when active. She will also heal an additional 1.2 HP for every point of elemental mastery she has, and this effect can be triggered every 2 seconds. Her fourth constellation, Squeeeezing, new and improved, recovers 1.2 energy for Sayu when she triggers a swirl reaction, and the effect can occur every 2 seconds. And her final passive skill, which has instantly become one of my favourites, You Who Art Silencer's Secret. Whenever Sayu is in the party, your party will not startle certain small creatures. This ability works on crystal flies, crabs, and lizards. I actually hate chasing crystal flies, so I love this. And when cooking the health boosting dish onigiri, there's a chance she'll create her signature dish, Dizziness Be Gone no Jutsu version 2.0, instead. And this dish will restore more health than the original product. And just like Yoimiya in our last video, this is an incredibly cute dish. Okay, time for my Sayu build. We were able to get 3 of Sayu's constellations on the route to Yoimiya, and I do hope to get her to C6 eventually. Her talent levels are currently 6, 6 and 9 with that boost from her 3rd constellation, and I have unlocked 4 of her ascension levels. I do plan to unlock her 5th ascension level once I've gotten more animo crystals. Sayu has been tagging along on my daily commissions and chilling in my teapot, so we're gradually building up that friendship level, but at the time of filming we just hit level 4. For weapon, I had built up the new Inazuma craftable claymore Katsuragi Slasher with the energy recharge substat, but while playing around with different builds I switched her to the prototype Archaic with its attack substat instead. I may still switch her back to the Katsuragi Slasher because her burst does take a while to build up. For artifacts, I tried to focus on the 2 stats Attack and Elemental Mastery, as they both feed into her healing. And hey, being able to switch in and dish out the damage with a high attack stat is always a good thing, right? And as an animo character, the more mastery for swirl damage, the better. For set bonuses, we have 18% attack boost from a 2-piece Shimenawa's Reminiscence, and another 18% from a 2-piece Gladiator's Finale. I'm really happy with the substats on her artifacts at the moment though, so here's the Flower, her Feather, Elemental Mastery Timepiece, Attack % Goblet, and Healing Bonus Mask. I think this is fine for now, at least until I can get a better goblet, but I can definitely make some improvements on this and may even switch to focus on a mastery build in future. So when it comes to overall stats, her health is at 15,784, her attack is 1,824 and defense 655, with 330 elemental mastery. Crit rate is fairly decent at 41.6%, but she could use some more crit damage as it's only 72.5%. She does have 31.3% healing bonus and 122.7% energy recharge, which definitely needs some work as her burst has a fairly high energy cost. So where will Sayu fit in within your team? I always like to try talking free to play friendly and maybe mention the permanent 5 stars here and there, but when it comes to animo, we haven't got a lot of options. The animo resonance bonus Impetuous Winds is really nice, decreasing stamina consumption and skill cooldowns while also boosting movement speed. Now for new players, Sayu is going to pair really well with the Traveller for activating that resonance. And if you have more options, a healer Sayu paired with the support Sucrose is a pairing that can really complement a lot of DPS units. If we dip into the standard 5 stars, Jean would also be an option, but I wouldn't know because we still have no Jean. I'm not salty about that at all. And I had really hoped that she would pair well with Xiao, who may get a rerun soon if you missed him the first time round, but maybe I haven't really found the right setup for them just yet, as I've not been doing too well with that pairing. I'm going to skip over the Geo characters, as I feel like for Sayu, especially if the swirl reaction can offer healing, there are other options that will be better fits. We'll also skip some characters that are also healers, even though they may be good for elemental reactions. So let's move straight on to Pyro. Pyro has many great options, and you may have been a lucky ducky on Sayu's banner and found a Yoimiya. When switching Yoimiya out after her burst, I find it fun to switch Sayu in and use her skill to set off the explosions and cause swirl. Amber's Barrow Bunny can offer crowd control and its explosion will apply Pyro. Xunyan's shield will also apply Pyro and offer your team a bit of protection, and there's also Xiangling, with her elemental skill and burst that I think pair well with Animo. And we're not going to forget Yanfei this time, as a catalyst user all of her attacks will apply the Pyro element to opponents, allowing more swirl damage. From Pyro, we'll move on to Hydro and dip into 5-star territory again for a second, because I've really been enjoying playing Mona recently. Her taunt will apply Hydro and distract the enemy, which will work to your team's advantage. And I did mention this in my Yoimiya video, but it's definitely time to build Xingqiu as a support unit for my squad, because his skills pair really well with Sayu too, applying the Hydro element while she's in the whirlwind state for additional swirl. When it comes to cryo options, both Rosaria and Kaya can be reliable sub-DPS options and have quick skills that can apply cryo, and have bursts that can continue to apply cryo while they're off the field. There's also Chongyun, whose elemental skill creates a cryo field which Sayu can infuse into her windwheel state. And let's round off with Electro, which we're about to get new options for in 2.1, but today I will only talk about those who we already have. We'll start with Fischl and her ability to summon Oz to attack alongside another character, and Beidou, another character with a burst that will allow for continuous application of her element when off the field. So let's see some team ideas in action while we think about our final thoughts on Sayu. I do love Sayu's design and the cute little floating leaf on her head, and I think pairing such a tiny character with a claymore was a nice decision. And I'm glad to have another healer I can use when needed. As an animo unit and a healer, I feel she does pair really well with others, and her skills do seem very suited to co-op as well. And I do love her skill, as I often use it to just travel around outside of battle, and will never miss an opportunity to use it if I need a quick pop of healing. I'm also fairly certain you get a stealth boost on the A Gentleman Strikes in Broad Daylight commission if you use Sayu, because we just walk on out with the goods. And Sayu has also given me my absolute favourite thing to do when I'm out of resin. It's photo shoot time. So that's all for today. Let me know in the comments where we should take cute pics of Sayu next. And if you enjoyed this, please leave me a little like and bop the subscribe button if you want even more Genshin Impact. I hope to squeeze one more little video in for you before 2.1 arrives, and we're going to do a wishing session for the new 4-star Kujo Sara and the Electro Archon Bob. We have no Primo Gems, low pity, and we're on 50-50. It's going to be a disaster, so don't miss it. But for now, I'll see you next time.
Recon confirms. No sign of the Shrine Maiden within a 3-mile radius. Moving to the next phase. Sleepy time.